Hey guys, just some final thoughts on this whole sensor deal. I was rewatching the tour and had some thoughts. So I know some of us have been discussing of late some of the functions that come with sensors, particularly on and off delay. Typically, those types of things where the sensor is now starting to act as the brains of the machine, where it's having an effect on the controls of the machine, not just detecting anymore, but now it's starting to think. Typically, we want to leave those things in the hands of the PLC of the machine. And here's why. Because typically, if there's a PLC in the machine, there's an HMI, all that stuff can be processed at that level and we can have access to it. And most importantly, if a sensor dies, we don't lose that information because that control aspect is built into the PLC and the sensor is just doing its detection stuff. That's one of the reasons why there's so many different sensors. We're trying to optimize the ability to detect something with different types of light, ultrasonic, laser, inductive, conductive proxies, things of that nature. All those things are out there in all different configurations so that we can find the most robust way to detect what we want to detect and then be able to package it in the machine. That's another reason why there's so many different sensors, is because there's so many different ways that we may need to hook them up. The FSV31 is a great example of that, where something you may need to do the signal processing somewhere else because you can't package a sensor where it needs to be. So the best you can do is send its fibers, send its eyes out there to go look what it's supposed to see and process the signal somewhere else. Just a real simple example of another reason why there's a sensor with an amplifier and fibers versus another one that looks like a little yellow box that has a reflector and receiver in it. I'm sorry, an emitter and a receiver in it. Just infinite possibilities. And when you're out there on the floor, I'm sure you're going to find some stuff that's like, this is weird, and it could just flat out be wrong. And that's okay. Let's have a conversation about that. Maybe we'll be able to find something that's better. If we can't, we'll call somebody to get some help. But hopefully this class has opened your eyes to the huge world of sensors. Know how to wire them, know how to hook them up. I guarantee at this point you probably know more about them than I do. For me, it's just been the school of hard knocks of doing a lot of different machines all over the world, doing a lot of different things. You pick a little bit of it up, but I may have some perspective on why philosophically we might want to do stuff. But you guys are getting the knowledge and getting the power and the knowledge down to the floor, and where you guys can have an impact and use this knowledge to your and Odie's benefit when you're working on machines. So this is the first of several more component level classes that we have that are going to build that troubleshooting toolbox that we're going to develop in the last half of the classes. So I hope you enjoyed this one. More to come, and thanks a lot.